Wouldn't it be cool if your deadbeat dad wasn't really a deadbeat? He just had a job that was super cool that was keeping him from spending time with you? That's the basis of My Dad the Bounty Hunter. Let's take a look. Okay, so My Dad the Bounty Hunter, it's got some good things. The animation quality is great. Characters are original and fun in a lot of ways. I actually like kind of the action part of it. There are some things that you have to be worried about with this. I watched the first episode fully and kind of looked through a lot of the rest of the season, looked online for some of the other reviews and what some other people were saying. And there was a lot of kind of repetition. Even people who, I was watching one review from some folks and they were talking about some issues that I had with, and then they were just like swearing the whole time. I was like, dang, like you wonder why these kids are so mouthy and everything. Like you're literally being mouthy and swearing like all this. It was kind of funny. All that to say, I give this a caution to parents. There are definitely some things in here. They say that this is a show for 7-year-olds. It's an original on Netflix, came out in February. It's fully on there. The animation style is kind of geared more towards, I would say, younger kids. However, it's content-wise, I think has some problems that you need to be aware of. So first off, biggest thing is it is very violent, especially towards the end of the first season. There's a lot of violence. Now it is kind of more in that realm of like sci-fi violence where there's like laser beams and it's not often like lopping people's heads off and having bloody gushing neck blood coming out or something like that. This is more about like in the first episode, there's an alien who gets, shot and there's a hole in his stomach, but he's a liquid alien and he kind of like, reforms and stuff. So there's a lot of violence like that, but there is some like knife things going on. There are heads being lopped off, just not kind of in the very, very kind of anime bloody mess. So it is very violent. You need to be aware of that. I grew up with G.I. Joe and, Transformers and I don't know, dozens of other shows that the violence was not really the issue. Violence isn't the thing that I'm usually like really on guard with. That's just a personal preference. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Just letting you guys know where I'm at. The things that I have more problem with in this was just some concepts that I think maybe the 7-year-old audience that they're saying they're going for is not quite on with. In the first episode, there's a huge thing about this mating ritual of this giant asteroid thing that wants to mate with the ship and bite off its head. And there's a little bit of sequence in there that I was like, well, I don't really want to discuss that with my children quite yet. Even my 9-year-old, let alone my 6-year-old.
Is it gonna eat us?
I believe it is signaling that it wishes to mate with us.
Cool. Ew, what does that even look like?
I do not want to find out.
The sexual innuendo things kind of go throughout the whole series. There's like this I'm parsexy and I know it bumper sticker. As any cartoons that are coming out at this point, there's same-sex relationships, attractions, and that's always kind of highlighted and focused on. It's not overt crazy in this. There's just a scene where 2 female guards are battling some kind of alien things, and one of them gets ripped away, is injured, and it's like, I love you, or something like that.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not going anywhere. No matter what.
So again, these are fairly mild and, might just go over the head of your little kids. But when we're looking at Netflix and Amazon and Disney especially, this is part of the culture, part of what we're getting into at this point. So if you're not ready to have those conversations, that there are people in our culture who are same-sex attracted and embracing that lifestyle, our culture, affirms it and allows that in both legal and, many even church congregations are allowing it now in affirmation. If you're not ready to have that conversation, this could be something that comes up. Some questions could come up. And the language is a little bit suspect in this one. They do take the Lord's name in vain, God particularly. And, the kids are pretty mouthy. The kids are pretty sassy and disrespectful. Some of that is alluded to because of the split household. The dad has left or there's some kind of separation. It seems like the parents are on good terms, but there's definitely tension there. So that's everything that you need to know content-wise. I mean, there are obviously tons of reviews on this. I mean, where does this leave us? Well, you know, when I see these things, I like to kind of put my 2 cents in, inform you guys if you're watching and want to kind of hear what we think about this. Obviously, we are also a producer of children's content, and we are in the midst of our first children's show called Super Scout, and very, very excited about that. We can't wait to share more with you guys. We will be doing that in the coming months. We would ask for prayer for that too. You know, I mean, if you're watching these cartoons and you're looking for things for your kids to watch, please join our email list. There is the opportunity for you guys to be investors in our company, which would allow for you to be part of the voice that brings content out that, you know, affirms our values, our Christian worldview, still great as far as animation quality and entertainment value, the action and the comedy in it. The kids will love it. We can't wait to show you more. Sign up for that email list because we will be making some announcements in the coming weeks about opportunities for you guys to be involved in that. Those are my thoughts on My Dad the Bounty Hunter. Like I say, you know, there are some very enjoyable things about it. It might be something that I would watch and be able to filter through. I kind of like cartoons and whatnot, but it feels like they've kind of mismatched some content issues with the style and story depth. So yeah, you guys disagree? Let us know in the comments below. And please like, share, subscribe, send this out to somebody. We always appreciate that. God bless you guys, and we will see you next time.